So the first thing I was talking about, I was stuttering out my ass.
Bro, all right, we're going to air this out right now, bro. We're going to air this out right now. We're going to talk
No,
about this. I notice it, bro. Don't worry about it. I don't care because guess what? I fucking do it too. I've been stuttering since I was fucking as long as I can remember, bro. Literally, what I thought would get me out of it. Don't take that tough guy speech from any tough guy that like literally what my cousin told me. My cousin Andre, I love him to death. I love him to death. But what he told me literally when I was in 5th or 6th grade, maybe going into middle school, he said, "You fat as fuck and you stutter. If you don't stop stuttering, you're never gonna get no pussy." That's literally what he told me.
get the fuck out of here.
And I put a chip on my shoulder. That made me not want to stutter. And if I was about to stutter, I just didn't say shit. And that made me mad. And that made me act out. So whenever you hear people talk about them feminists and shit like that, talk about toxic masculinity, that's something I agree with. I believe that's a such thing. That's a real thing. I believe in that. I believe that's a real thing. But it's like, what's your stuttering, bro? Because I be peeping. I don't know if you be noticing. Do you care if I talk about it on air and shit like that live?
No, bro, I don't care. No, I don't care. I don't care. No.
Because sometimes I be feeling like when you do it, you be looking at me kind of like you don't say what you want to say sometimes because you can't get it out. I don't fucking care, bro, because I do it too, man. I do it like literally all the time, especially now especially when it's something I'm passionate about, like politics and shit like that. It's hard for me to get it out because I don't want to sound stupid. I don't want people to make fun of me. But guess what, man? It's a part of life. It's literally a disability that you have, and it's not your fault. Don't get mad about that shit, nigga. Just embrace that fucking shit. Somebody calls you fucking, he's retarded, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Literally what I do is I just outsmart them with my politics. I start talking about politics and make them look dumb.
You start talking about politics and they just fucking
They look dumb. And then the bitches are on my dick. Guess what? I walk out the party, I'm like, you bitches with me, nigga.
Yo, but nah, yeah, bro. Honestly, like
I don't do it as bad as I used to when I was bad when I was younger. Like literally, I didn't talk a lot because of it.
Yeah, because of that shit. Damn. Nah, bro. Like honestly, I used to be like upset about it. I'd be like, fuck, man. I keep fucking stuttering. I keep fucking. What the fuck is wrong with me? Like I can't get a fucking job. Like I was bad. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah,
that's one of the things. Like literally, whenever I'll say this, whenever I talk white, that's when I don't get affected. Like when I've never stuttered in a job interview, never stuttered in like a setting where I feel like a lot of my stuttering comes from not what I'm saying or what I'm feeling or how I am not being accepted. That's when I start stuttering a lot. I feel like I'm not accepted. Yeah. That's when I start doing it. But it's like I realized like not necessarily saying like I want to be accepted by white people or some shit like that. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But like where my intellect is accepted. I used to get beat up a lot in fucking 5th grade or from when I lived in Philly for like a year and a half or 2 years. Like I'm with the 3rd and 4th grade there. I used to get beat up a lot for how I talked for the things I was into. Like I was a little nerdy kid in the fucking.
I got fucked up in school every day.
Facts, but it was like I was a big kid, so I learned as a younger guy. Like I'm always going to if I fuck somebody up, I'm always going to get the blame for it. So I would just let people beat me up when I went to Philly and shit like that until I started fighting back. That's when
this guy.
But it was like I was just like. I can't help how I am. Like I was a little nerdy nigga in the High School Musical and shit like that. Like I like comic books. Yeah. Superman was my favorite superhero. Like I just love shit like that.
Bro, me and you are just like honestly, I'm not. And like I said, I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. But I'm not gonna sit here and say, yes, I wasn't raised in Wilmington, but lots of my family are from there. Like I knew lots of black people who were like from the hood. Like you know.
Like my cousin, like I'll say, actually, I'm not going to say my cousin. I'm going to say a family member that I know because I don't want to call him up by name. I'm going to say a family member I know. Like, I'm not going to say more recently because more recently, like, he's not like that. But
yeah,
I'm definitely growing up around family members like that are close to me that were like a brother to me. Fuck it. He's probably not going to listen to this. I'll say my cousin. Like, I feel like me and him could never get along. That's my cousin Andre I was talking about earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we can never get along because, like, I feel like this motherfucker will always be on some hood shit, and that's not me. But it's like, in my mind, I'm like, nigga, we was raised pretty much under the same roof, nigga. That's not you either. No. But then I had to take a step back because he actually grew up in Philly. You feel me? Even though the part of Philly we were in wasn't as bad, he used to hang around people and shit like that and go to different areas. I'm like, okay, I can see, but that's just not me. So that's why we can never connect and shit like that. You feel me?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just not. I mean,
and then on top of that, just to add in, I feel like I can't connect with my family, period, because I'm not like I don't believe in the same shit they believe in. Like I'm not necessarily Christian. You know, I don't believe in everything my family believes in anymore. So I just feel like I'm gonna be looked at differently because of that. But honestly, that's one thing. One of my like literally, I'll say this, and this will be a testament. You know, if you stick around as my friend and shit like that.
Yeah.
I keep people around me that have said something to me or done some type of action that struck something upon me that taught me something. You feel me? Like if you haven't taught me anything, if you haven't said something that's been impactful to me, you're not in my life. That's straight up what it is.
I respect that. Yeah, I respect that. Like, so pretty much what you're saying is like if you have a friend or practically anyone who comes in your life,
anybody, whether it's a friend, girlfriend, teacher, like it's my high school teacher. His name is, and I'm about to stutter now because I'm getting passionate about it. Mr. Rooney. I had to take a breath and do it. Mr. Rooney,
right.
High school science teacher, Black British dude, shit like that. Like this is a motherfucker. Not necessarily. I'm not saying I think about him every day on some weird shit, but that's somebody like I recently I went back to see him because I had to go into my high school to get my transcripts for college and shit.
Yeah.
And I went out my way to make sure like, oh, if he's in the building, can I go see him and shit like that? That's somebody that really he was a person that made it okay to be smart. You feel me? Up until that point, it was either you could be smart so you could play football. You feel me? You could get good grades so you could play football. You could do this. But it's like I was always a person that was into whether it was like science or I was into film, thinking about science with my film. I was into shit like that. And it's like people, I'm not saying people went out their way to make it not cool, but they would tell me, oh, you can't get a job in that. Oh, you can't be artistic. Like using your brain isn't going to get you money or shit like, shit like that. And I'm not saying people told me that, but it's like, that's the vibe I got. They're like, you're big, go play football. And I'm not I'm not complaining about it. Like, I'm not one of these fucking bitch ass niggas you see, like, I couldn't live my life because people told me I couldn't beat it. Like, fuck, that's what I had to learn. I had to, literally my cousin, who's like my mentor, not the cousin I was telling you about earlier. My cousin Reese. My cousin Reese, My cousin Reese. If you listening, dog, literally I talked to him one day, dog. I was like, like one day I forgot. It was about some, like, this is when I was out of high school, bro. I was talking to this nigga probably like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. I was like, bro, I went to the bar. I didn't talk to this girl because she was sitting next to these guys that I feel like would have made fun of me. This nigga looked at me. He was like,
nigga.
He said, fuck them niggas, dog. That's what he said. He's like, fuck them niggas, bro. He said, it's plenty of fat niggas. And he saw right through what I was saying. He's like, it's plenty of fat niggas I know that got pussy and got bitches because they know how to talk, nigga. Just be
exactly,
he was like, just be yourself, cuz. Just be yourself. And it's like, that's one thing I realized, like, I've always known that, but I've always tried to be something that I'm not sometimes. And that's what I feel like is wrong with society. You got a bunch of people pretending to be something they're fucking not.
Hey, look, followers, bro. Followers.
All of them fucking followers, dog. Like literally, the people we call leaders are literally fucking followers.
Because they follow other people in they shit. Oh my bro.
Now you could take knowledge from people. Like, for example, like I'm not saying that I'm a person that, like, basically my political shit that I'm into, I don't take what. So I watched somebody. His name is Jimmy Dore, right?
Jimmy Dore. I never heard of him.
That's all the videos I've been sending you where he's been from. That dude.
Okay,
most of them. But
okay.
He's somebody that I follow because he's a comedian. I'm into comedy. I love watching comedy.
Comedy, yeah.
I got into him through the Young Turks. And when I heard that he split from the Young Turks, that's when I started watching him more. But I'm like, okay. But what I do is when I listen to him and I hear him say something, I literally Google that shit and I pull up articles about that shit and I cross-reference everything.
Damn.
I make sure I cross my T's and I dot my I's. That's what most Americans don't do in this country and what most people don't do in this country. You have people that literally watch Instagram and they're like, they hear some nigga talking about, oh, if your man cheat on you, he a bitch ass nigga, da da da. And you see the comments like, oh yeah, fuck that nigga, this and that. When it's like, maybe he cheated on you because you don't know how to cook. Learn how to cook. Maybe he cheated on you because he's afraid to ask you to eat his ass because you think you might call him gay. But you feel me? Like, you never know. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people get so stuck in these logic traps. Like, it has to be this because in my mind it ain't. Because in my mind, 1 or 2 + 2 = 4. Well, bitch, sometimes 2 + 2 = infinity.
Exactly. And bro, it's fucking like when a new film comes out. And, if the critics say it's good, everyone else gonna be saying, "Oh yeah, the movie is good. The movie is good." Well, bro, I have seen.
They was right about Suicide Squad, though, bro. That shit was trash. The critics told you that shit was trash. That shit was trash.
But I keep falling now.